Yo, what is happening? We are back with another episode of the Specktators podcast. I'm Packy alongside Q the Bars,
Hey.
Dags,
What up?
Moti.
Scuddy.
Episode 60.
City.
Come a long way.
Hell yeah.
That's an honor of Nip. Damn, should have been last week.
Dang, isn't that crazy?
We missed it.
That's right. R.I.P. Nip, rolling sick.
First of all, before we get too far into this, congrats to friend of the program, Joel and Megan on their firstborn, Sienna May.
Applause.
A round of applause there, Moti.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Oh.
We're cheering. Hey. Yeah, congrats, brother. That shit's ill.
Sure.
Big congrats.
Hell yeah. I was going to comment, but there's 8 million.
Yeah.
He won't see this.
That's dope. I know he's super excited.
That's ill.
Also this weekend, our boys finally lost.
Shit.
It was
That was bad.
it was a magical run.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but what? Say it.
Nothing.
Say it.
I literally don't have anything to say. Tough game.
Don't ever puff your cheeks out like that.
This is a tough game.
It was
Texas
brutal.
Tech is tough.
Yeah.
I really actually like their style of play a lot.
I'm rooting for them tonight.
I am too. I wish it would have been Texas Tech Auburn. I thought that would have been a sick game.
Yeah.
I hate Virginia. Slow down.
What'd you think about the end of the Virginia game?
I think it was a foul, but that's just, first of all, it was stupid by that dude to even go
Agreed.
near him.
Right.
Like run at him, but then bail out or something. But the missed double dribble call sucks pretty bad.
In real time, I didn't
pick it
notice
up either, so
Right.
I can't be too mad at it. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody on the bench even noticed it either, they were saying. But that's just shitty, you know. But I know the refs are looking for that foul call because they had one to give, so they didn't want to miss that. And while he's shooting and whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's the thing is, it's tough for refs when you, like, we ask for consistency, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then we all kind of like know or understand or expect at the end of games in those kind of situations that you kind of just swallow the whistle at that time.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, and
it's kind of just,
I don't think you can on that one.
no, I don't either, because his leg actually was like,
Yeah,
I
he
ran into it. When I first saw it,
yeah,
I was like,
That's a
wow,
foul.
that's bad.
that's, yeah,
And then they showed the replay, and it's like, oh,
I was the exact same way. We were
yeah.
Stacks and I were watching at Reno's, and when it first happened, we were both like, "No, you can't end the game like that." And then they showed the replay, and I was like, "That's a foul."
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, for a shooter, bro, he ran into his leg.
yeah.
And the dude
Exactly.
didn't kick him out. He didn't jump
no.
forward. It was just
Right.
a normal shot, and
Yeah. You
and
have
took his
to, I
legs
mean,
out.
the rule is you have to let him land.
Yeah. So, I mean, brutal way to lose, but because as far as the swallowing the whistle at the end, I'm sort of with that, but it's only when we're talking about, like, to me at least,
Yeah.
like a bang bang play, like at the rim or something like that, where maybe a guy hits his hand or is kind of straight up, kind of like, then a ref just has to make a judgment call. But as far as, like, if it's a foul during the game, it should be a foul
Right.
at the end. I kind of have to err on that side. Like, you
Definitely.
can't kill a ref for that. And that one was
To a degree, yeah. I
blatantly a
agree.
foul.
Yeah, that one was. I
And he had to make the free throws too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he pulled up to take the shot, I'm like, he's about to make this.
Yeah.
He just looked like, I'm gonna make this
You gotta
shot.
get shot
he's their
off.
shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He
But
was-
yeah, dude, that's to go to the fucking ship, 3 free throws. Like, he's a good shooter, but
Yeah.
that's pressure, bro.
yeah.
Senior.
Yeah, knocking them all
It's just
down.
ill.
Good for him. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I'm rooting for Tech.
Mhm.
State, man, I don't know. They just couldn't get. Nobody really played well.
They look
And
gassed,
yeah,
man.
that tells me you got to credit Texas Tech a lot.
Yeah, I think
because
they
we
just
looked
beat
like a
us
different
up.
team.
They,
Yeah.
I mean, like they just out toughed us. I thought.
Couldn't get a fucking like a pass inside.
Yeah.
No,
ever
I mean, I
for
thought
like the first half.
that was the worst part of our game. I heard also, my dad actually just told me this. We were talking about the game, but they said Henry McQuaid and Cassius were the only ones that scored until 15 minutes left in the second half.
Yeah.
Wow. I
yeah,
didn't
they
know
showed
that
that.
stuff.
Holy
I'm like,
shit.
you can't
Uh,
win like that.
I mean,
That was insane when I saw
But
it.
like I
Yeah.
said, we couldn't get
Bad.
to that point that we couldn't get an entry past the board at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
To even get him on the board originally, it took forever.
Yeah.
That shit was brutal.
Yeah, that's why I think Tech and Virginia have similar styles of game as far as defensive, but Tech tries to score a lot more, and
Definitely.
Virginia tries to take possessions out of the game, and that's why I like Tech a lot more than Virginia.
Right.
But that's why I would have liked to see them play Auburn, is because Auburn's pretty tough and scrappy the same way, but they try and score too, and I think that would have been a sick game.
Yeah.
But now we're going to have to watch Virginia sit on the ball for the whole shot clock every possession.
Yeah.
There's a new Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You think Cassius will go pro?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
I guess I wouldn't
I wouldn't be
be.
surprised. But I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't even be like, oh, if he did. But I think he should come back.
I think he'll come back too.
I think so.
I don't think he's. I know he said he's gonna talk to his family and blah blah blah
Right.
blah and come back with a decision. But like the only reason I could see him going is I don't think his stock can get much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, I don't think his stock right now is super high for the pros. I just don't
He's
think
just
he's
got his-
athletic enough.
Yeah, his game is so different. You
Yeah.
know?
So if you're not a guaranteed first round pick
Why do it?
to go, yeah, it's kind of a questionable thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Unless
but
you're
if
in,
he
like, a
comes,
shitty like
yeah,
shitty
for sure.
financial
Which from what I've
situation.
heard, I don't think he is.
Mhm.
But I'm not positive about that. But yeah, dude, we should be nice next year if he comes back. So at least there's that to look forward to.
Shit.
That's Shan30 with the super chat, $2.
Great look.
Wants to know
Thanks,
why we
bro.
didn't have our dudes in the Final Four.
MSU
Picked them.
because I like to hedge my bets.
That's exactly why I did
Yeah.
it too.
I just, if I'm doing one bracket, which I only did one this year, usually I'll do more, but of course there's like what I want to happen.
Right.
Of course I want them to win the ship, but then there's like, okay, what do I really think?
Yeah,
And I've seen enough to
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I'm never going to be disappointed in State winning.
right.
So,
right.
but if I pick them to win it all and then they lose in the first round, I'm just my whole bracket is just at least if they lose early, I can at least say, oh, my bracket's still alive. You
Right.
know. So there's your reason. Speaking of which, Moti.
Yeah.
One Texas Tech win away from winning the whole spec bracket. How many people are in that thing?
That's right.
Like-
Let's check and see.
Oh,
I
we
think
have
it's
it
like
right here.
300 some. He's taking
Yo,
gear right
this
out
dude is-
out of your guys.
240 plus.
This is the
Damn.
league fucking getter.
That's
This dude is
crazy.
Mhm.
He picked Texas Tech as his champ.
That's right.
I was going to, you know what I'm saying?
But then I did.
But yeah, then like my heart and my head.
All right, so let's get into the shits.
Hey,
What do you guys think about Antonio and JuJu?
dude.
Antonio's the new what the fuck's his name? The guy on the Brooklyn Nets, D'Angelo Russell,
D'Angelo.
Yeah.
showing off the DMs and stuff.
Mm.
What did originally he say?
Okay, so I just tried to figure this out today because I remember seeing it earlier in the week and being like, God, Antonio, just being Antonio. But I think, and someone in the comments, if you know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't follow the story as it was going on, but I think Antonio tweeted out something. Okay, so on his Twitter right now, and this is the first thing I saw, but maybe there was something before, I don't know, but somebody, just some random person, I think, tweeted out that JuJu was the most valuable player for the Steelers. And I think that was like an official thing, maybe.
Oh yeah, now it came back to me.
Yeah.
And then he said like, yeah, right. He until it gets to the playoffs, and then he fumbles and does all this
Yeah, he goes,
bullshit.
boy fumbled the whole postseason in the biggest game of the year. Everyone went blind to busy making guys famous. Not enough reality these days.
Where your ass is at, dog?
And then JuJu went with the respect for this guy, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it took the
And
high
then
road.
and then Antonio tweeted a DM or Instagram DM that said from when JuJu was in college that said like, hey man, you're a great dude on and off the field. Got any tips for me to get better? Like, what? I don't know why that's bad.
And I think even like, I don't remember if this was before or after his first tweet, but Antonio tweeted something like, keep your emotions off the internet. And that tweet blew up because obviously Antonio is not the guy to be tweeting that.
I thought JuJu tweeted that.
I think I think JuJu tweeted it after
Oh.
because he was like mocking him.
Mm-hmm.
I
Both
think.
these dudes are kind of is the wide receiver
Well,
position the most diva position in
yes.
all of sports?
But
Yes.
dude, like,
Yes.
just so people know the
Even
context,
they say it. Wide
um,
Yeah.
receivers.
Yeah.
JuJu's tweets say, he goes, all I ever did was show that man love and respect from the moment I got to the league. I was genuinely happy for him, too, when he got traded to Oakland with a big contract, and now he takes shots at me on social media. Crazy how big that ego got to be to take shots at people who show you love. SMH. And then apparently Antonio tweeted out that DM.
Which that I still don't get how that
tweeting
DM
out the
looked is.
DM literally shows to me how much of a clown
Sucker.
Antonio is. Like,
That's a sucker
he
move.
thinks he's getting the upper hand and calling someone else out for basically someone saying like you're dope. And
Right.
JuJu's like 8 years younger than Antonio,
Yeah.
bro.
Right.
Like
And he literally asked like, "You got any tips for me to
Yeah.
get better as a
Right.
football player?"
yeah.
And like,
But Antonio tweeted that out thinking he was gonna like
Yeah,
clown him.
yeah,
Right.
I don't understand that.
you DM
He also
me,
did
bro.
a Facebook Live and the freaking
In
like,
the-
he
in
would
the
do
locker
He's the
room.
like that.
fucking internet live.
Yeah. He's the type of
Monster.
he seems like the type of person in that regard that I can't stand.
Yeah.
I think there was one other tweet. Like I think JuJu, because he does have to play with Big Ben next year.
Yeah.
I think he kind of tweeted out something kind of defending him without, because Antonio was talking a bunch
Talking
about
a bunch
Big
of shit
Ben,
about Big Ben.
and he kind of defended him type thing, and that also started some
That's
kind
my
of thing with
teammate.
it.
That's my quarterback.
That also started
Antonio
a
Brown's
tweet
dork.
storm from
Which
Antonio.
again from Antonio, dude, it's this motherfucker's quarterback.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
JuJu just had a huge breakout year. You're talking shit about his quarterback. It's not like he can't. At least from what I remember, JuJu didn't come out and be like Antonio's a dumbass, blah blah. He was just like big up in Big Ben.
Right.
Yeah.
And Antonio, hey, like, dude, just move on, bro.
Dude, he just
That-
he loves the drama.
I
Like,
think
that's
that's
why
the
I don't know
bottom
why he
line.
didn't stay in Pittsburgh because they love the drama in general.
Because he's not
Golly.
getting fucking targets.
Well,
He's
then
getting plenty of targets.
Yeah.
he can bitch about it, and
But
he loves
JuJu's
to
about to
bitch
be
about
that
shit.
dude.
Yeah, he got a bunch of years of all the targets, and now JuJu's getting some.
Yeah. Yo, that was the scoop of the year last year, fantasy.
Yeah, it was. And I wasn't big on him going into the season just because Antonio. If you watch a Steelers game before last year, it's like everything is Le'Veon and
Yeah.
Antonio.
Yo,
For sure.
But then with Le'Veon out and JuJu just breaking out, yeah, it was
yo,
different.
life changes fucking quick.
But yeah, bro. I mean, are there anyone? Is there anyone out there that sees this Antonio shit and thinks, I'm a bigger fan of him now?
Hell no. I hope not,
Not-
but probably.
Not the tweeting shit at all. No.
I can't.
Dude,
I can't imagine.
This reminds
I'm
me of
definitely a bigger fan of him now.
this reminds me of like a
4 to 5
real life
Dennis.
situation the other day. So you're like on campus, you're driving down the street and you stop at a stop sign and let these people cross pedestrians first, and
all day, air day.
these
Yield for bad.
these cooled out dudes walk like 2 miles an hour across the street and like
So everybody
look
sees.
around like does anybody think that dude's cooler because he did that? Or do you
I'm
think
sure-
he's more of a douche?
I'm sure he thinks he's cool.
And that's how I feel about Antonio Brown. Like, does anything like this make more people like you? I hope not, because if it does, you
he
are probably the
has
same
to
type
think.
of
It's
person.
like
Right.
Cartman. You know what I'm saying? We're like in your own head. It's like this is what it is, but everyone else is like, no.
Nah.
Yeah, dude. And that's not even coming from the standpoint of like, dude, just shut up and play football. Like,
No.
it's just like you're saying dumbass shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
And
corny.
You're on a-
it's
you're on
just
a different
drama. It's
team
pure
now.
drama.
I haven't heard one thing about your new team.
Right.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, I don't get that shit. That's clown shit. But I mean, he
Still
better
dope.
go out and ball in Oakland.
I think
like
he
if
will.
he's- Yeah,
Fucking
I expect.
Do
him
they
to,
play
too.
each other?
I don't know. I hope so.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That would be like number one watch game.
Yeah.
Probably. And
Last
2
10
just
years.
pretty average teams.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe that's why he's doing it.
Pittsburgh
Pitt?
finds a way to just be good, and
Yeah.
like JuJu is really
Their-
good. James Conner's good. So even though they
Their
lost,
division's
Bell,
tough this year, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cleveland's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
What the
Cleveland
hell?
and Baltimore.
Baltimore.
First pick, OBJ.
Probably.
Just for the clout.
Yeah. Le'Veon out the mix, kinda. Is he? I mean, he's back, but he's not
He'll
like-
be a high pick though, because he'll
Yeah.
be the Jets' offense.
But it won't be like the killer bees.
Yeah.
No.
Type shit.
Speaking of the,
Bzzz.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Cleveland's got a good defense too.
Yeah,
That's
People
what
aren't ever
Pittsburgh doesn't
talking about
have.
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Miles Garrett's a beast.
he's a
Ravens
beast.
got Earl Thomas.
Did they? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Damn,
For
they
a-
stay with
for
this
a
with the
bunch of
strong
money.
Hell
safeties,
yeah.
bro.
Suggs left though. He's in Arizona now.
Sucks.
T. Sizzle.
Dude, Arizona in the NFL is literally Arizona in real life. All the old cats go there to retire. For real. They play a couple years in the dry heat. Like, they want to get out of that cold. Damn.
That's real.
Speaking of the killer bees, Justin Bieber. Did you see his April Fool's?
Yeah.
He basically,
Pregnant.
yeah, he posted a picture of his girl. Is it Haley Baldwin?
Yeah.
And she was like getting a sonogram on her stomach, and he posted a picture of her, and like, what was the caption? It was something like, he referenced April Fool's in it. He
In
goes,
the caption.
if you thought it was April Fool's, and then turns out, so people thought it was real,
Yeah.
and turns out it was a joke. And then
And
in
everybody's
typical
like-
social media fashion, dude,
This is
this is
inconsiderate
inappropriate, inconsiderate. Like, he's not.
to people that can't conceive.
Oh no, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, I looked it up, and this is
You
just
literally just can't talk anymore.
this is just some random Twitter
Yo.
user, but this is the first tweet that popped up when I typed in Justin Bieber April Fools. I just feel so sick. Justin Bieber joked about him and his wife being pregnant, then went and said April Fools. It is not fucking funny. People miscarry, people cannot have children, people struggle to conceive. Pregnancy is not something to joke about. Yes, it is, yo. Like, just about anything is something you can joke about. You know what I mean? It's not like he didn't. He posted a picture and said, he even referenced April Fools in the caption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you put so much stake into that shit as a person and were like, she's pregnant, oh my God, and then you were fooled, then too bad.
Well, I think more than anything, you can be mad about it, fine. Do you need to go to Twitter and like talk about it? No. And also be mad about it and just don't like Bieber anymore. Like, that's all it is. But like, you don't need to like state your claim on like why it's such a big deal. It's the same reason like I don't like LeBron, because I don't fucking have to like LeBron. You don't have to like Justin Bieber,
Yeah,
because he did something that you disagree with. So just stop liking his ass. No one gives a fuck.
that's the problem with those people, though, is they want people to stop.
No, but
doing it.
here's my
Like,
thing
that's
about
fucked up.
Here's my thing about this Justin Bieber thing, though, is like, okay, I get, we've talked about comedy and shit up here before.
Yeah.
Like, I get certain things being in poor taste and offending people, right? I really don't understand this one. Like, I get what people are saying as far as like there's women that can't conceive and stuff like that, and fertility issues. I don't see this as like offensive to them. April Fools, my girl's pregnant. I think it might even be his wife. They might have got married.
Yeah, they're married.
My wife's pregnant. April Fool, she's not. Like, is that really so offensive?
And
to
I was
anybody?
like waiting for like.
Yes, because if you can trick yourself into thinking anything's offensive.
Well,
I know,
okay,
but that's
the-
my.
and
That's, I guess
this-
that's my.
That's
issue.
the thing too, is words. Technically, the offended are the only people who can say that they are offended by something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't really be like, you can't possibly be offended by this.
Yeah,
Like, of
it's
course,
subjective.
right, I get
of
it.
course they
Subjective.
can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However,
That's like what Dags was saying.
to your point, I mean, I just think like, okay, let's say that he posted a picture with like a cast or something, and then he's like, April Fools. People be like, oh my God. Some people only have one arm.
Exactly.
Some people, you know, I'm like shit like that.
Right.
Like, that's so. It depends on what you want to be mad about.
Well,
You have
But
to-
that's what a
everybody
joke.
wants to be
That's
mad
what a
about it.
joke is, though.
Well, and that's
Like-
what I'm saying about like actually having a podcast and talking about this shit is like, yes, of course, anyone can be offended at whatever, but there are certain things to me that like have more validity than others.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Objectively, not even subjectively.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously, yeah, like you said, I can't speak for everybody on you should be offended, you should not be offended. But there are certain things that are just like, come on.
No, and I agree with you. I do agree
Yeah.
with you. It's like I was 4 out of 5 dentists. You know what I'm saying? Because Justin Bieber has how many followers?
6 trillion.
And then you have like
More
people
than their
retweet it,
people
and then
out there.
that gets
On
seen by
Twitter.
how many ever more people that don't fuck with them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like there's bound to be some people in that millions and millions, tens of millions of people that are like, I don't fuck with that. Even if I'm sure some people just
Yeah.
do it even if
that's
they
the thing, dude.
fuck with it, they're just like,
Yeah.
I want to be the one.
I've seen that prank like 100 times every April
Yeah.
Fool's Day on your Facebook, like with your friends.
Yeah.
And they just don't have like the sheer volume of people viewing it. So probably like no one gives
Yeah.
a fuck about it. But like when Justin Bieber does it, of course, like the one lady on earth that gets offended about shit like this is going to be like, God damn it. I love Bieber.
And
you know,
she
it's
has
like,
an editorial.
Yeah.
And she's going to write
of
about
course.
it.
That leads exactly
She's
into what
gonna
I was
retweet
going to
it.
say, though. It's unfortunate. I feel like we're at a point where people can get really popular based off not based off, but their personality can help them get really popular, and
Oh yeah,
they can be edgy and funny and whatever. And then once you get to a certain point,
correct.
you have to lose all personality
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
and like just be a machine.
Mhm.
And that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Like you even see it, and like we talked about Cardi B the other week. I'm not condoning her shit or whatever, but it does go to show you're this way, and then you get big, and you have to just be,
Yeah.
PC as fuck. And it's
Yeah.
like in certain instances, it's like like with Cardi shit. Yeah, I mean, obviously.
yeah.
With this type of shit though, it's like this is some innocent, like you said, dude. I don't think it's like a funny April Fool's joke, but
Right, no,
that's just
right.
that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But
It's just a-
fifth graders like say
Right.
shit like that, dude.
Right.
Like
That's
when you were in
mostly
high
fan base,
school,
right?
yeah, right. Like so, I don't know. You got to let people have a little bit of a personality because,
Well,
like you said, you could be somebody's offended with everything.
A prank is a
Literally,
form
yeah.
of comedy. So it's
Right.
it's what comedians are saying all the time now is it's like, dude, comedy won't exist if we don't. Everyone's offended by something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why a lot of times it's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the thing about comedy is it's not just comedians that are into comedy. Everybody likes cracking
No,
jokes.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And like being
until
sarcastic
you're
and-
the butt of it.
Yeah, but we've talked about that too. Is like, dude,
But
you
that's
got-
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
learn to
That's
deal
what
with
this
it.
stems
Oh
off.
yeah, that's like some shit your parents say to you, like if you're gonna dish it out, you gotta be able to take it, type
Right.
shit. It's like you can't tell me that lady that tweeted that or guy or whatever hasn't said like a joke that would offend one person in her entire life.
They probably
it would.
haven't,
Of
dude.
course,
You
of
know.
course, of course it would.
They probably haven't. They're probably dial tones, bro.
No, I guarantee they have.
That offends
Anybody
But
that
some
writes
people
a-
can't
every- anybody
hear
that writes
dial
a-
tones. Did you ever think about that?
Anybody that
fucking
writes
asshole?
Anybody that writes a Twitter essay about Justin Bieber making an April Fool's joke and how it's so offensive is a complete dial tone in real life. Straight up.
She was right though. That
Some-
offends dial tones.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
Dial
That's
tones
what-
are fucking
That's
great.
what we were talking about a while back. It's just like everybody's offended by something in one way or the other. Like you could have the most surefire, like motivational, greatest thing you've ever said, and somebody's gonna be like, "Well,
Yeah.
I can't learn from you. I can't walk."
Yeah.
It's like. It's like figure out something better to take away from this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Than that.
Right.
Right.
Like there's always lessons to take away from things that don't have to be,
Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
you being a bitch.
Any news on the Nipsey front? I know we when we touched on it last week, we wanted to kind of keep it to, talking about his legacy and shit like that. But now they got the guy in custody.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But it sounds to me like, and like I said, we don't know everything yet there, but sounds to me like there's a lot of eyewitnesses and
There's video.
yeah, there's
were
video from like
And then he hired or whatever his lawyer is like O.J. Simpson's lawyer or some shit.
the prosecutor.
Or yeah, that's what I meant. Whatever.
Which
It's
is
just random as fuck.
yeah, really random.
Yeah. Like,
I got-
okay.
Must just be the guy who wants some publicity.
Probably.
Is
Well,
he
they
cheap?
said-
How the fuck the guy got bread?
Is it confirmed that they said I read that this dude was a up and coming rapper
Mhm.
and they got into some like verbal altercation. This dude went home, got a gun, came back.
Well,
shot it up.
apparently, allegedly, this dude was a known rat. Like he was like an
That's what I
informant.
heard.
Yeah,
Oh.
so he had been working with police, and so he came around because I guess Nipsey had a boy who just got out of prison for like from 20 years or something like that. So he actually didn't hit up his main security people or his main security guy, and just went down to the store to get his dude a bunch of clothes and stuff so he can get him right after he got out. the dude came around, and he was like, "What the fuck you doing here?" Like, you know, called him a rat and shit in front of everybody. And so he went around whatever the corner to his girl's car, and then came back.
Yeah, I heard he left, came back like a few times. And it was, so that's what makes me think with people around and shit like that, that if I had to guess, I would guess they got the right guy, because there were people around.
Yo, and they got him trying to check into a mental
which
facility.
word is he has a history of that, like he's been to that institution before. But I don't know, man.
Fuck all that.
Yeah,
fuck that,
I'm
dude.
skeptical when it comes to that type of shit, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't.
Yo, people are fucked up for like sharing that. Like, I hadn't seen any, but I heard this was happening because this is what people do. But they share pictures of like the dead body or like videos of murder and shit. Like, bro, I'm not into that shit at all.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't give a fuck. I'm not interested in seeing someone get murdered. I'm not.
Yeah, that's the age we live in, bro.
Yeah.
Clicks.
People are fucking fucked.
But yeah, I mean, basically, that's the gist of
Yeah.
it as far as an update, right? Like we don't.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
He pled not guilty,
Right.
which makes me believe that the mental institution, like it's gonna start to be that type of thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll work for him.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not. Like he needs to get some shit for sure.
That shit crazy.
Oh, I didn't write this down, but along those lines, one of the big things being talked about in hip hop is Kodak
Fucking
in regards
idiot.
to that shit.
That dude is. He needs to be in that institution.
For real. That's what it seems like, yeah.
Ridiculous.
He's a fucking weirdo.
Do you think he's just chasing clicks? Or do you think he's just a genuine dumbass?
I think he's just a dumbass.
I think he's just an
Yeah.
idiot, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll just say shit, just not even think about it.
Yeah. Do you think, because I know people like to just get outraged for a couple weeks and then back to business as usual. Do you think because of the respect Nipsey had around rap,
Yeah.
do you think people will stay away from Kodak?
Yeah, well, I heard that Power 106, I don't know, out in LA, Big Boy station, they said they're not playing this shit
Yeah.
anymore.
What happened?
So he was talking about like after Lauren London copes, he's gonna try to get at her type shit.
Yeah, well, I don't even remember exactly what the
He went
quote
on
was.
live and he said, I don't know what the quote was.
Yeah.
He said he was going to try and holler at Lauren London after
She
like
has
a year or something. I don't know.
after she has some time, he's gonna try to holler at her.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just like,
Yeah, why do you
what
need
the
to
fuck, yo? And
That's
I
so
think what
dumb.
made everyone so pissed is because multiple people, like not even in connection, just regular ass people, is like, man, why didn't they take someone like Kodak Black? Everyone said that shit. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. We all wish it was you instead of Nipsey. Everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it had to be someone not Nipsey. So that shit's just disrespectful. And
I mean, yeah, it's just disrespectful. That's all that. That's
But that's just
so not needed.
that's like the shit that that's basic human, like that has nothing to do with hip hop. Like that's just basic human decency.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
You know what I think?
I don't
though?
care if you like. I don't care. We all love Nipsey. Like,
Right.
Had a connection with his music. Blah blah. I don't care if you never heard of Nipsey Hussle before.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say some shit like that.
Right.
yeah.
That's just disgusting, man. It's just like, why? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
But that's what happens. I think though when you do get so deep into the clout game
mm-hmm.
That's what
and
I was
like
gonna
saying
say.
shit
Right.
that
You don't even
sparks
realize
headlines and stuff is that
It formed
something happens and you're like, let me go say some shit that's gonna get headlines about it.
Yeah, like forms your personality and the way you think about things to be not sensitive about shit because you're just constantly looking for the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That's
man.
just
There's
It's
a
like
lot-
breeding people.
There's
like
a
that
lot of
now.
ways to do that shit. As far like you can go that route and just say like the most outlandish shit ever,
yeah.
and you can go the other route and like want everybody to feel bad for you type shit. You know, like there's a number of ways to chase clout and and they're all fucking whack.
yeah.
So
Yeah, bro. It's tough to weed out the genuine shit then too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what makes it so tough when you find shit, genuine shit like a Nipsey or like a
Mhm.
Cole, a
Yeah.
Kendrick, people that are like, that we hold up on these pedestals.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, keep them safe away
yeah.
from these fucking
And
rats.
I think the only true way to really know it is to see it long term,
Right.
like a Nipsey, like a J. Cole.
Yeah.
It's like they've that's who they've been since they started,
Yeah.
to a certain degree. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then when you see someone like Kodak, that's who he's been, it's like that's who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, one of our big conversations last week was Lil Nas X.
Yeah. Billy Ray.
The remix is out.
I was bumming that shit on the way here.
So do we think Billy Ray rode to the rescue and is it gonna be on the country charts?
I think it is it. I think
No.
It might be. Is it already?
They're reviewing it, I think, or
I
something.
looked today and it was not there
I think they're reviewing
as of like
it.
3 o'clock or so.
Is it even charting yet though?
It's #1 on the
Is it?
just the whatever the fuck.
I saw a
chart.
Billboard tweet and was like, "Go listen to new Lil Nas X, Billy
Yeah.
Ray."
Yeah,
Like,
he
Get
tweeted.
your ass out of here, man. Get your ass out of
I think
here.
he tweeted like a question mark or something. Retweeted.
For real?
it,
Right, new phone. Who this?
Yeah. Billy Ray Cyrus versus Fire.
It was good. I actually
Yeah, I thought it was
actually
straight.
enjoyed the song more this week than I did last week.
The only thing that was just like some nitpicky shit, but like, they should have stuck with the original chorus first.
Yeah,
Cause his is, I don't know, it just adds something different. I like the like hip hoppy vibe of it with Lil Nas X, and then he comes in and makes it like mad.
mad country.
And he, that's just like the difference between a country artist and a hip hop artist trying to do a country song. Is like they just do it naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like his voice is just like made for country.
Yeah, he's got a
So
natural
I don't know.
twang.
Anyway, but his verse was fire, and I thought that little clip of them in the studio where Billy Ray Cyrus was like hyping him up was pretty fire.
Yeah,
That was dope.
he seems
Was that the
pretty-
one where he's playing the guitar?
He's like,
That's the only one.
there
I saw.
is one of that where they're
Okay.
just listening to the song and playing it back, but there's one where Billy Ray Cyrus is just like, like people said this about Waylon Jennings and said like this stuff about all these different artists that were crossing all these boundaries and stuff in their time, and he's like, you're gonna be special, blah blah type of thing. And Lil Nas X was just like
That's dope.
getting hyped up. It's tight.
So, Q, last week you thought it should be on both, right? If you had to say.
I said I didn't think it should have been pulled.
So do you think the original should be on both charts? Hip hop and country.
I just don't see why not.
Okay. And Dags, where was your stance on it? That
I didn't really.
if you had to choose.
I'd
Come on,
Oh,
let's
I know.
let's have a fun
My-
conversation.
No, yeah. I hear you.
My fucking concrete thing was, if it was allowed on the charts,
Mm-hmm.
I think it should just stay there. Like
Yeah.
for whoever fucking approved it,
With
let
the,
it go.
With the knowledge that we have, like I could get into like what I think about like why did they approve it in the first place type thing, but like whatever, I won't
I
go into
also have
that.
a question.
But yeah, like you said, if they allowed it on there, who fucking cares? Like I just think
Forget about them though. Do you guys think it should be on there?
I think it's a hip hop song.
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely more hip hop than a country song to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
now should the remix be on there?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not. I'd still think
'Cause
it's probably a hip hop song with a
the
country
beat didn't
artist.
change,
on
did it?
No.
Yeah,
The
it's just
exact
the
same.
exact same shit. So I
At
mean, if
least
that's
you're
what
sticking by your principles. I was hoping for some more.
No, I was gonna say like if
Shenanigans.
that's what we're going by, if the vibe and
Yeah.
things
I mean,
like
it's
that.
just like if fucking Kendrick Lamar got Jason Aldean on a song and it's the same exact song except Jason Aldean puts a verse on that shit, then it's
Or if
I would
Jason
say-
Aldean got Kendrick Lamar on a
Yeah,
song.
well then it's still a country song.
Right.
It's
Right.
still the same song.
Right.
With a feature.
That's really what I just kept coming back to when I was trying to
Yeah.
think about it. I was like, if you reverse the roles, if with a country artist and a hip hop artist and whatever, like, yeah, it doesn't change the nature, and that's why I think it'll be really interesting if Billboard decides to throw the remix. If they throw the remix on the
Yeah.
country charts, they better throw the original on the country
Agreed.
charts.
Right.
Because otherwise, like we talked about last week, it's all subjective, right? Like there's no set guidelines we
Right.
can put on it.
right.
But I think one thing we can say for sure is in a song like this, if the remix is on there, then the original should be on there. Because
Yeah.
there ain't much difference other than one guy being on it.
Especially
Literally.
that, yeah. I mean, it's the exact same song.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because a country artist is on
Yeah,
there.
Right.
that would be
Because
whack.
that would be like Jason Aldean getting Kendrick on his song, and all of a sudden that popping up
Right.
on the hip hop
Right.
charts.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm
Like
saying.
what?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that's opening up a whole can of worms.
But
Yep.
I do think, I mean, and most people would probably agree with this, them taking it off made it that much bigger.
Oh yeah,
It's
oh
just
yeah.
like, what's
Fuck
on
yeah.
It created a story. Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually helped.
That's the reason.
Absolutely.
That's the reason I listened to it originally. It's because I saw it and I was
Same
like,
here.
"What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that can go one of two ways. It's either dope or it's the corniest fucking shit ever.
Right.
Like some Cowboy Troy shit.
6'4" with my baseball.
And I hate that. Anyway,
And I'm
it
a
was
cowboy
fire.
hat
It
and
went
baseball
the right direction. It was tight.
Oh, I wanted to do. Maybe you can do a little research while we talk about something, Mo. Russ just did a feature, and I believe he posted that it is #1 on the reggae charts. I assume I didn't listen to the song.
Mhm.
I assume it's a reggae artist.
Yeah.
I
would hope.
but I'm wondering if it's charting on any other charts, and then I wonder what it sounds like. So if you can figure out if it's charting
Can't
anywhere
play
else,
it, so.
and then keep it to yourself. But yeah, because I remember last week we were talking about like none of us really have any examples of shit charting on multiple charts to kind of
Yeah.
reference. So I just be
Yo, what about that?
Probably.
I just thought of that
What'd you say?
Drake and Bad Bunny
It's called
song.
Bank.
yeah,
That like Spanish joint.
yeah.
Was that on multiple
I
charts?
don't know. See, like I don't think that would have been on a hip
Like on
hop
the
chart.
Telemundo.
I don't know.
Dude, Bad Bunny fucking tight. I listen to some of his shit.
I've only
It's
heard
all
that
in
one
Spanish.
song.
Fire.
Mhm.
He's got fire beats. He picks fire fucking beats. I hate his name. Though. I can't stand saying that.
It sounded like Bad Baby.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I thought it was the same Catch Me Outside shit when I
Yeah.
first heard.
The fuck?
She's tight too.
I was like, Drake and Catch Me Outside?
Drake?
And she's rapping in Spanish?
She's got fire beats too.
Yeah, that reggae song is #6 on the iTunes charts.
For what?
Reggae.
No, but hip hop or right.
Oh,
Oh,
for
my bad,
reggae.
my bad.
Jesus.
but is it on anything else? That's my question. I
I'm
knew
not-
it was on the reggae
I'm not
charts.
seeing it, no. But he's
Um,
he's featured with another artist, and along with the artist that the song's by.
Okay.
So there's 3 artists on there.
Yeah, I heard a little snippet, and it sounds reggae, and I'm sure the artist is probably a reggae artist, so it makes sense if it's
You
just
think
on
Russ
that.
is rapping in reggae?
No, actually, the genre is technically modern dance hall. That's what they have.
Yeah, he
it
kind of he
classified
he
as.
does
That
some
sounds
he does like a melodic verse, I think.
But it's
Russ
on the
does.
reggae charts.
Okay.
Yeah, he does a melodic verse. He's not just like spitting.
Modern dance hall. What other songs are classified as modern?
Isn't a lot of
dancehall?
like
Probably One
Rihanna
Dance.
shit considered
Probably,
dance hall?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
that.
like that Jamaica.
I mean,
like,
it is,
yeah, the
that's
Caribbean-
that's
Yeah.
that type of shit. That shit's
that
fire.
tell you what, hell yeah.
I love that.
Them girls will break your dive working on that thing.
Caribbean or Toronto.
Modern dance.
I want to know what that one said.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Modern dance hall. If you search modern dance hall on Google, the first thing that pops up is the iTunes charts for reggae. And it's titled Modern Dance Hall. But it takes you to the reggae charts on iTunes,
So they probably just kind of group it all together.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense to do that with certain things probably because it's probably close enough where they want to get enough songs in there to make it mean something to chart. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah, they probably don't have a million
Right.
subgenres and
Yeah,
shit.
if
of
you get too
everything.
specific with the genres, it's going to be just like 10 songs.
Yeah.
Every genre.
Electronic seems like has a shit ton of
Yeah.
subgenres.
Guess what's #1 on the reggae charts?
What? One
Angel.
Dance.
Shaggy.
Seriously?
Damn, what a
Wow.
comeback.
Wow.
That old ass song?
It was, I mean,
Did he have like a resurgence or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, my darling.
Did he get
angel.
like charged for like murder or something? So everybody's going back and listening to his
Maybe.
shit or something.
damn, did he?
No, I'm just saying like
you know
you know
That's
how
how shit
that's
happens.
happening
Right,
lately.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I know he was on tour with like somebody fucking crazy
Yeah.
that we know.
Dude,
Old
that's what's
heads.
dope about music. If you like kind of do some research like that, is you'll find some artists that you don't ever think about that are doing well
Yeah,
with music.
yeah.
that's real.
And you don't ever think about them, bro.
Mhm.
I always think about the dream for some reason, because like this dude is somehow a part of every
He writes for everybody.
hit song like ever made, and he
Yeah.
comes out with one song every 6 years, and it's fire. And then you're like, oh fuck, I love the dream. This shit's so fire. And then you don't hear from him forever, but and then you hear an interview with him. He's like, I was a part of this song,
Yeah.
this song, this song, this, and it's all like the top hits.
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything
he's-
you've heard the past 10
He's
years.
dope.
He's probably just richer than everybody.
yeah. He dude, I made like an old R&B playlist
So
a little while back, and so many Dream songs, bro.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, his last album was like, he had like 3 albums or something like that. It was like,
Yeah,
30
I was
fucking songs.
just talking about that with Glow, I think, and I never listened to it,
Mhm.
which is stupid. I'm a big Dream fan. When he dropped this, I think it's just because I'm so tentative to listen to those fucking 40-track albums, dude.
Right. Yes.
But like,
got no
it's a
time.
task.
Yeah.
But I should at some point because he's fucking dope.
That Foreplay album was so
Dude,
God.
banging. He's got a song called Challenger. I think it's newer. It's on my R&B playlist right now. It's fire.
Yeah.
But it sounds just like, a lot of his shit sounds kind of similar, but it's
Yeah.
fucking dope.
Dude,
Yeah.
fucking
He's ill.
falsetto and rocking that shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. He has so many fucking songs on that Foreplay album that were fire.
So many.
Damn.
Foreplay was fire. That
Yeah,
record,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
song. Yeah, man, he's
Damn.
he's one of the R&B goats for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah. I can't remember who I just saw him in the studio with just recently.
That new Lloyd song, speaking of R&B, is
He had
fire.
some jammers
it?
back in the day.
I
It's
fuck with
called
Lloyd.
Caramel. Fire.
Dang.
Real tight.
Carl.
Werther's.
Southside was still one of the most fire
Yeah.
R&B songs ever.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude,
there's
that
some
like
joints.
I don't know, because it's probably because we were in high school and shit, but like that high school R&B era
That
was
shit
so
is good.
fire.
Mm.
Dude, BET has a special right now.
Black tracks.
Like Finding or something. They had a Finding Jaquan. They just had Finding Jay Holiday.
Wow.
Dude.
And he had the
I got
smashes.
I got some of his joints. Breathe and Suffocate.
Yeah.
Or
Suffocate.
Bed.
Bad
and
Suffocate.
yeah.
And he had a song called Fly. That
Breathe
is
and Suffocate.
so good.
That's kind of funny. Dude, I know this motherfucker is making some outlandish remarks in the past, but Jacquees is fucking fire.
I haven't gotten into his catalog.
I only thought of that because you said Bed and he remixed that shit,
Okay.
and it was so dope.
That's almost to the fucking the clout point when you just saying
Yeah.
shit. Like,
But that's not even like that's different to me because he just said, I'm the king of R&B. Like, doesn't everybody say that about everything?
Yeah.
Like, LeBron says, I'm the fucking best basketball player ever.
yeah, but
so does
he
everybody
fucking.
else.
I feel like more people would agree.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't think, but I mean,
I know what you're saying, but LeBron wasn't the best comparison. Yeah, like
well, I'm just saying,
I-
like,
like,
you have to
name any
think-
rapper
you have-
that-
and I said that when we were talking about LeBron saying that, like, you have to think you're the best
yeah.
at your craft because it's what motivates you and drives you.
Name a rapper that hasn't said they're the best,
Yeah, exactly.
like of the top group.
There isn't one.
But I guess that's the thing about Jacquees is he's not even in
It's
the
like
top
who?
group. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's fire.
Who the
He's-
fuck are they?
Like that's like if I said I'm the GOAT of rap.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like that, but it's more like that than it is LeBron saying he's the GOAT.
yeah.
especially when you're like a young cat.
Yeah.
When it's like it's been around for you to just for anyone really. Whenever, like you said, most people do it. They'll just say it, but we also have the right to be like, "What? You sound
that's
stupid."
true.
Because
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
we
that's
have this person, this person, this person type.
you
shit.
sound dumb for sure.
Yeah,
but
so
it's
you
not
can
like
say
that
it.
big
Of course, you
deal.
can say it, but it's like,
Dude,
what you
what
look dumb.
What were we just talking about though? Was it Kodak about how you
Yes.
just get in the fucking headlines though? Like
Yeah.
he was a thing, and I heard his name more in that time than I did for any music
Mhm.
sure.
because people were talking about it.
Yeah.
I need to try that shit, bro.
No, you don't. No. As your friend, no, you do not.
I'm
need
the
to do
king of
that
R&B.
shit. Mo, cut that shit out.
Something that Boom DJ around here asked me to talk about that I gotta
What up, Boom?
confess I not familiar with the artist, and I also just remembered it before we got on air.
Uh-huh.
But I think we can talk about it a little bit. Is artist Getter, Getter? I believe he's more like a EDM type artist.
Okay.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. Anybody that's a big fan, because I admittedly am not
No, no,
familiar.
bad.
But basically, from my understanding, is he was on tour, and I guess he was having a rough tour as far as like fans not being receptive to his set
Okay.
and maybe his latest album.
Mhm.
I'm not positive, but basically, I'll read his statement. he tweeted out mid-tour. He goes, I started the Visceral project to move forward with not only my career but my mental state. I thought this tour was an effort to make myself happy and prove to everybody that music is more than just raging on a weekend. Imagine working towards something, putting in all your effort, time, and money into something that you feel could finally separate you from the rest and show you do have purpose, all to just get yelled at, booed, and have shit thrown at you because it's not the cookie-cutter bullshit they are used to. Criticism is healthy. My friends and I frequently critique each other's work, and it helps the final product. However, the constant hate and the disgusting attitudes I'm faced with are destroying me. To all my actual fans who have supported me and helped me through this bullshit, I love you, and I'm so fucking sorry I have to do this. I am not happy anymore. I'm canceling the rest of the tour. I need to make myself happy. I can't do this shit, man. And he accompanied that with the words, you win.
I think, I didn't know he said it like that. I just knew he backed out of the tour. We were talking about this a little bit. I think that's like well said. Like, for one thing, to prove that it's not just like some cookie cutter bullshit and it's not just like a weekend party type shit. Like, he actually enjoys the craft of making music and not just like what comes with it, like girls and drugs and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's a part of making music. Like, not everybody might like your shit. And especially in that world, like the DJ world, where like that's why they go to concerts is to just fucking party and stuff.
Yep.
But I mean, shit, if they weren't receptive to it and every show sucked and it was like, well, then like, I don't think that's that crazy of a thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is it?
I don't think so. If your mental health is at stake and you're
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
I can't fucking do this. I understand. But I just kind of think, like you said, this is what you sign up for, man. Like, fans aren't going to fuck with everything you put out. And especially the stuff when you try to go to a more like personal direction or it's just whatever's different from what they're used to. Most times I see that. Like, when my favorite artists, when they put out a project that's different than what I know them for, a lot of times they don't get the reception that they expected. And they often will maybe like in interviews or something like that later down the road, they'll let you know that this wasn't received well. I put my all into this. I really wish people fuck with it. Whatever, it affected me in this way. But I understand. I'm a very empathetic person, so I understand like what he's going through. But at the same time, it sucks for the fans that are actually there to fuck with you. I'm sure it's not everybody booing. It's not everybody, throwing shit at you. You know, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't feel like great about saying like, oh yeah, man, like that's what's. I mean, first and foremost, get yourself together. You can't do anything without your own mental health in order. Yeah. But it's still kind of, I don't know. It just kind of feels a little.
Yeah, I think for an artist, I definitely agree with you that it is unfortunately what you sign up for. Like, there's high highs and there's low lows.
Right.
Like, you get praise and love that your average person that's not in that position will never get.
Correct.
And then you also get hate and the flip side of that coin, like no one else has to deal with.
Right.
And it's like you say it and it sounds so cliche that it's not for everybody. But people just hear that and it goes in one ear and out the other. But it's shit like this that shows you that it is not for everybody.
Right.
I guess another aspect of it to me is, and like I said, I'm not familiar with him. So if this isn't how it went down, forgive me. But it seems to me like he dropped an album and then he toured and basically performed the album.
Well, why the shit.
Yeah, my thing as an artist, and I've talked to other artists and stuff about this, and it is, as an artist, it's an unfortunate thing that every time you hit the road, like if I go do a show, I'm performing Wobbin.
Right.
I made that shit 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I am more connected. Like, I would rather perform my new shit all the time and like blah blah. But it doesn't make sense. People want to hear the classics, the shit that's popular.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't have to.
Right.
But if you want a certain reaction from the fans, then you need to appease them in that way.
Yeah.
If you don't care about that, which I credit someone that wants to do what it seems like he was trying to do, like it takes some balls. And the reason it takes some balls is because you got to deal with some shit like that, some hating ass people that are like, but dude, it's tough because I do feel what he's talking about. It's also like, dude, people paid probably good money to get in and see you and hear their favorite songs, and you didn't perform them from the sounds of it. I don't know, man. But here's what I will say and then go ahead. But I say all of that, but I do always think all the hate and shit is whack as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, you can not fuck with something and wish they did this and wish they did that and even voice it. That's fine.
Right. Right.
But the like, you fucking suck, your show was fucking garbage, I hate you, blah, 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 blah. When it goes like to that and it isn't just criticism, it's like, it is some weirdo shit. Like, bro, okay, you're supposedly a fan of me and you wanted to come see me perform. And someone like him who sounds like, it's one thing to me if an artist comes out, like, remember when we saw Chip the Ripper?
Yeah.
Obviously just like drunk, high,
I was
barely
just gonna
moving
say,
on stage.
Yeah.
Fine, rip him.
Right.
Like, that's bullshit.
I ain't gonna throw shit at him.
Right. but say what you will.
Right.
This dude sounds like he was trying to be innovative and do some shit and he put effort into it. It wasn't just like a lackluster performance. It was a different performance.
Right.
I agree 100% with that. And yeah, like, you pay money to see people and you get Chip the Ripper and he's so fucked up he can't even rap, then yeah, that's, like you said, that's whack. You pay money to see this dude and you rip him because he is trying to do his own thing and like go his own direction, and like, you're supposed to be a fan of this person. You probably should support that in one way or another, whether it's just by not acting like an ass at his shows or whatever. And then there's like the Machine Gun Kelly thing where like and I've mentioned this before too, but like, he's bitching about being on tour and doing like 50 nights in a row and all this shit. And very well, that this dude is getting fucked up every night, doing drugs, doing all this. And he's performing his shit, but then he's just constantly bitching about like, oh, I don't know how much more I can do this and blah, blah. And it's like, well, your body's paying the price for you acting like a fucking idiot, and you can quit or whatever. But if he quit for those reasons, I'd be pissed about that too. But this dude seems like, and I don't know this guy, like you said, he could be doing the same shit and this is his cover up or whatever. But if he's quitting because of just like I'm just out there putting on my best show every night and it's just not responding well, and I'm not gonna fucking sacrifice time with my family if he has one or what the fuck ever to do this shit when it's not getting received well, then fuck it. That's his own prerogative. That's fine. To me, I don't really care either way, but like I said, it's just like all circumstance as far as like, like the MGK, just like the constant bitching, like, bro, you're in a really good spot. You're making tons of money for putting on dope shows every night. Like, take care of yourself for like 2 nights a week so that you're not so fucked up that you can't even get out of bed in the morning and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
and then you just bitching about it. Like, you're doing that shit to yourself, bro.
yeah.
Like,
I totally agree with what you're saying. And I guess that's the thing is like, I hear a story like that and it makes me sad for him.
Right.
yeah, for sure.
But it's just kind of like, dude, everything has a risk reward factor. Like, as bad as it is, or not bad, I guess it's just expected because you're charging fans to go see you and they love your songs that you did previously, and you have to know this.
I would hope
like,
so.
as an artist.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a huge risk involved with you preparing a set of your brand new songs that you really don't know,
Dude,
how your fans are going to react to.
yeah.
that's my biggest thing is I understand you want to do it for yourself because you're like,
Yeah.
I fuck with these songs. These songs make me feel whatever type of way.
Right.
But you're performing for your fans.
Right.
And your fans fuck with, or you should know when you put a set together, you don't put the shit together that you like. Your top 10 fucking Packy tracks.
Yeah.
You can't do it like that.
Right.
True.
It's not, I mean, it would be nice, and you could do that and be like, fans,
I would
you gotta
advertise it that way.
understand- Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you did that and your fans got pissed at you and they're like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And you're like, well, it made
I
me
like
feel
these songs better. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck are we here for?
Right.
I'm paying to see you fucking
Right.
dance.
And
Yeah. I mean, and that's
good
Go ahead.
good artists find a good way to tie in the old and the new.
Right.
Yes.
You know, like
Absolutely.
you do a couple new tracks and then you drop into wobbin'
Right.
because that shit goes hard and then it re-energizes the
Yes.
crowd.
Right.
There's like a good way to tie those things in. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, maybe he's not like the best performer or he's just not taking that into account and he's just, because he says he wants to go against the cookie cutter bullshit, he's just locking out all his old shit.
Yeah.
Which might lead to him not being very popular from here
I'll
on.
add on top of that, just because from what I was trying to establish before, is the risk reward is like, not only do you have to take consideration like what you think, but for your own health, consider your fans, because no one wants to have fans not like their set.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody loses.
Like,
in that fucking-
dude,
Yeah.
so with the risk involved, you're an idiot if you don't know that there's a risk involved with doing a set like that with brand new songs that you don't know how your fans are going to react to.
Yeah.
So minimize the risk
Mhm.
so that you're not feeling like that if the worst happens, which it sounds like it did.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. There really are two conversations. There's one that I think we all agree with, that like if it's this guy's show and you're there to see this guy's show and you're booing him and throwing stuff at him,
Right.
I don't care how much, as long as he's trying,
Mhm.
you don't do that shit.
No.
Yeah, you're wasting your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's the conversation of what we're talking about with the artist
Right.
on like how he should go about this shit and blah, blah, blah. And it's
Yeah.
like, bear with me because I was just thinking about this. I'm just spitballing, so maybe this doesn't make any sense. But I'm thinking out loud here. Like, I'm comparing it to sports because I'm like, okay, I really don't think, unless someone is not putting their best performance forward on stage,
Mhm.
I really don't think you should boo them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
personally.
Okay.
But then, like, in sports, I'm totally fine with booing because, dude, you're there to put the ball in the basket and beat the other team.
Mhm.
When you're performing on stage, you're there to put on a show for everybody and have everybody have a good time. And if you're booing that person, you're like ending the show and like making the show bad.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Is that
helping
stupid?
make it shitty.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. That
And
makes sense.
but I with the sports analogy or whatever, like I've never been a fan of teams booing their own team or fans booing their own
I agree
team.
with that. Yeah.
You know, like because they're getting killed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get pissed and you like leave or what the fuck ever, but like
Right.
you don't think they're ever gonna have a bad game or whatever, you know. And to that point, like you don't, like this guy is trying something new and it's just not going good. I still wouldn't boo him and throw shit at him. I might just be like, this was not the best route for this dude, you know. Like I just didn't like the show that much because of the way he went about it.
I think that is a good comparison to your own team. Like, because, yeah, I wouldn't boo my own team. There's one way I would boo my own team if they weren't trying.
Exactly.
Like, if they clearly weren't trying.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the same shit what I would do with someone on stage. But, like, if someone, you know, if Markelle Fultz is working on a new shot and you're a Sixers fan and he's struggling with it, like missing free throws, I'm not booing him.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
gonna make him better?
Right.
You can be as pissed as you want about him, but you're
Right.
gonna like outwardly voice like what the fuck is he
Yeah.
supposed to do? He's gotta
Yeah.
figure it out in one way or another.
And
you
so,
know what I'm
and
saying?
so I
Like,
guess, like, thinking about it from a musical perspective, if Getter was at a festival
Mhm.
and was part of the lineup at a festival, I personally still don't co-sign the booing if someone's trying.
Right.
But I can wrap my head around it happening
yeah.
more. But on his own tour,
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, good point. Like
I don't
'cause
get that.
people paid to see all these people at a festival.
Right.
Like they didn't just buy
Right.
tickets to him. So yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
Would you?
But I still wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either.
So when you plan a tour, I'm sure you expect it. You hope that every show is perfect and goes dope as shit. But you probably have, in case this goes bad, you kind of just got to get through it pretty much is what it is. And that kind of reminds me of like comedians. Every great comedian or every comedian ever has just bombed, and they all have a story of just bombing.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to like go through it. I'm sure we've bombed many shows. I think our first show ever was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Horrible. Too much drank.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Chip the Ripper.
yo, for real. I get it. And I wasn't getting paid like him. We don't get paid at all.
Right. Felt a little less
We were
bad.
losing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a bunch. But I don't, it just kind of makes me think of that, where it's like, okay, this is shitty. Either switch up your set mid-tour somehow, or adjust your set mid-tour, or get through it.
Right.
But if you can't, then, I mean, I get it, but
If it's
That's
an
a good-
issue with the mental health thing, I understand it,
right.
but it's kind of like, and I know it's probably not all the way there, but I can't help but think that, like, and I don't know how old this dude is, so whatever, but every time I hear a story like this, I always tend to like especially based on age, be like, okay,
25.
is there some idea of like what did, God, I had the word in my head and now I can't think of it.
It's very good.
Just like I expect I have some sort of entitlement as far as like I haven't known anything else but
Right.
my fans
Right.
fucking
That
with
makes
me.
sense.
Right.
That makes
So
sense.
everything that I do is dope, and therefore it should always be dope, and I don't ever have to worry about that.
Especially, honestly, I would guess that would be more prevalent in the EDM DJ party type scene.
That's kind of my
because
inclining
you just
is-
get to go up and I'm not talking down to that scene. I'm just saying
Right.
you are the party scene. So it's
Right.
like people are just you can more easily take a crowd of 100 people that don't know who you are and have them go crazy and fuck with it more than like I can.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, I feel what you're saying there, and there could be some of that in it.
I'm sure it's not all of it, but
Right.
I tend to like see it a
What-
little bit more,
what
especially
kinda-
with like younger artists. Is it's like, especially this day and age too, is kind of dope for fan bases as far as like streaming services go and things like you get put onto people like easier than what we came up with, like
Yeah.
garnering a fan base that way.
Right.
Now there is a trade-off with that because they're not necessarily your hardcore fans that are
right.
fucking with literally
Exactly.
everything that you're doing.
They're the
Q made a
cookie
good point. Like I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and I do think the first thing I would do is
Try to switch up the stuff.
yeah. And now,
I mean,
granted,
yeah.
it's way harder for him than me probably because he's probably got a ton of production.
There's so
Right.
much
It's super
production
planned
involved,
and
yeah.
whatever. And so I will grant him that maybe he literally couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But that would be the first thing I would try to do because there is, man, like I think artists do get a little too caught up. I do agree that at the end of the day, an artist has to make music for themselves because that's how it resonates. That's how it's
Right.
real. Like you
Yeah.
can't be like, I at least personally, I've never been able to like go in the studio and be like, what do I think the fans want today? Let me go make that. I've just always
Yeah,
talked about my own
that's
shit
hard
and
to
people
do.
resonate with it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get that, but at the same time, when it comes to performing and music in general, you can't just jam your agenda down people's throats.
Right.
They're gonna like it or they're not. You can't
Right.
make somebody like something.
Right.
So it does beg the question to me, was it clear that this album wasn't resonating? And then you went and toured with it.
Right.
It's just like any art, though. It's just, I mean, even like comedians are the best way to even look at it because, like, dude, something's funny or it's not. So every comedian has their story of bombing on stage
Every
because it's
single
so
one of them.
obvious.
Every
like,
single one.
that's the thing. They could formulate a set for years, go on stage, and they could bomb based on that set. And does that mean that the crowd doesn't have a sense of humor?
Right.
No, it probably just meant that your set sucked.
Yeah.
Or your fans didn't fuck with it.
Yeah.
But what kind of makes me lean a little bit towards what you were saying, Mo, is and it could be just emotion. Like when you're going through something like that, and I don't know this, but I would imagine when you're going through something like that, you feel like your fans are turning on you.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I fucking gave you everything and this is how you're gonna do me type shit.
Yeah.
When he
I had
talks
y'all over
about
for dinner. Fish tacos. This is how you do me.
you sleep on my couch, risky. And so you like when he talks about they just want that cookie cutter bullshit. It's like you were making that for them, right? Originally.
That's you're talking about your music.
Dude, I've heard way too many artists talk trash about
their
old
old music.
That's ridiculous.
Because
That's
because
fucking
everybody
dumb.
thinks the shit you just made is just like sent from God, and the other
Oh
like
my
yeah,
God.
I will fully admit the shit I made when I first started making music
Yeah.
is not as good quality.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the sound quality, my flow, like whatever. But then I got to a certain point where it's like, okay, the quality's there. So whether you like the Parlay, Mad Lifey, Area 51, whatever, like it's just your preference, but it's quality.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't really understand that if the sound quality's there, just talking trash about your
Yeah.
own.
Like if you started
stuff.
singing, just like a singing career or like a rock career or something
Yeah.
like that, and then you're like, your fans didn't fuck with it, and then you're like, God, they just want that old fucking rapidy bullshit,
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss
Yeah.
bullshit. It's like you were doing that for them
Right.
forever. I don't understand
Right.
what do you.
And that's where your fans got you from. So
Exactly.
I
of
mean-
course they want that. Like
Yeah.
that's what they like.
The only way you can make a new project and try something new is if you have something original.
Yeah.
Well, also though, just to jump off that a little bit, but like when he started, that could have been the new sound or whatever. I don't fucking know. And then now everyone makes that. It's it's like
Yeah.
the Migos flow. Like
Right.
when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
started doing it, it was fire, and now everyone does it. And people like it a lot less.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see him wanting to.
I can see him wanting to branch
But you
out.
have, like we said, we all agreed that like you have to find a better way to tie in old shit and new
Yes.
shit to make everybody happy, especially on tour. You can fucking put out whatever kind of music you want now. Like you don't have to directly, people can listen to that or not. They don't
Right.
have, they can purchase that or not or whatever. But like if people are going to your shows, you have to find a way to make, everyone happy to
Yeah.
an
Right.
extent. That's,
Dude,
it's a showcase.
Apollo and I were literally talking about this today, and it's kind of a decent parallel of like, dude, I've made all types of different records, like different vibes,
Yeah.
like certain slow R&B type records that, and I told Apollo today, I was like, dude, all those type of records I've made, like Terrified and shit like that, they don't do as well as my other shit.
Right.
I still like making them sometimes, and I'll put them out,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't gonna go perform that because the
Right.
people don't like it.
Right.
Now, could I? Yeah,
course
but
you
I
could.
shouldn't be shocked by the response then.
Exactly.
And then it goes to the other hand of like, if he really has totally changed up his style, he thinks his old shit is cookie cutter bullshit, and he wants to totally change up. Okay, like Apollo and I were saying, dude, if you look at my Spotify stats, and same with Apollo, like it's like 80% male demographic.
Mhm.
If I go put out some record that most people would say is for the
For
females,
the lady,
right?
2 times.
I can't just put it out to my fan base and be like, catch fire.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he has a fan base full of cookie cutter bullshit, you can't just go put out this other
Yeah.
shit and expect it to catch fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You just got to be aware of it. And like I said, I don't want to talk too specifically about his situation because we don't know
feel
it exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And we understand the mental part.
Dude, I'll tell you that I can't imagine being an artist up on stage and just getting booed by 500, 1,000
No.
people.
That'd be
and
shit.
Yo,
shit's on
silence
you.
is like horrible.
Oh, dude, I've had people boo me on stage, not like a whole crowd boo me off stage,
Yeah.
but I've had some shit, and it's horrible, bro.
Mhm, mhm.
And that's just like small shows with a few people doing it. Like that shit's
Yeah.
miserable.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel for him, and it's sad that he got to that point. But yeah, as far as having like a nuanced conversation about it, like it's necessary to talk about both sides, I
Yeah.
guess.
And then that's what it comes down to me is like, if that's your reason for being done with it, that's fine, and you gotta deal with the repercussions of that. But
Yeah.
like, I'm probably not really looking forward to doing 20 more shows and 25 nights if
Of that.
every single one's going like
Yeah.
dog shit.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
Like fuck that.
No,
But you
I-
gotta, like when you got booed, I'm sure you were like, damn, how could I make this
Why?
better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, if he really couldn't change up the set,
Real.
that's tough.
Yeah.
That's real.
Which like if he has lights, which is a big part of all that
Yeah.
shit, lights and
That's what I'm saying.
all this other bullshit.
can
then
he, like,
probably really
Animations
Can he
in the
do
background,
music anymore?
like, all that shit.
What's that?
Can he like come back to music? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he's gonna have to do some type of rebrand shit.
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I don't really
Marshmallow Route get you a helmet. We'll cover it up.
know. Yeah, that's real. Change your name. No one even know it's you. Bro.
S'more.
Well, that's about it as far as, there's new Schoolboy. You guys fuck with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, different. I don't love it. I need to keep listening to it.
I like it
think
better.
I think I like
Do
it
you?
more than this other one, yeah. But neither one of the two singles has like done it for me totally, but I like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different. Like I can play Num Juice, like bang it and
Yeah.
just go crazy.
Yeah.
This one I'm just like, okay. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I
Tell you
wouldn't.
exactly what we're talking about right now.
Well,
What do you mean?
With like, he went a little bit of different route.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
and
like you're just like whatever with it. Like, is it like your favorite song and you want to like go on tour and hear him
I
perform
wouldn't
it?
throw my beer at him.
Right. Exactly.
I would hope not. Shit. Somebody throw something else at you. But one of his boys, is it Mac Wop? I think is his boy, who has a YouTube channel. And he was like, he does vlogs for pretty much everywhere they go. And he was like, the title of his video was like, I don't like the new Schoolboy Q song. It was for Num Juice. And then he was like, no Yes Man over here at TDE or something like that. I'm like, dope. That's real. Not too many like of your friends could be like, I don't really like it. We
But
do
fuck
we
making a
have that.
vlog about it.
Fuck making that public.
Like, tell him.
Tell me to my face, yo.
It's more so.
If I made
he
a song and
definitely
you guys
told
made a
him.
vlog saying I don't fuck with that new Packy, I'd
It
be like,
wasn't
what?
it wasn't like he's like, oh, he don't know I'm doing this shit. Look at this vlog. It's like he told them in the
Those
vlog,
dudes
but he
are always
titled it
talking
like
Okay,
shit.
shit about
okay.
each other, too.
Yeah, no, they're like they rag on each other.
Yeah, they
like
do.
Smino and his boy, they fucking just
Yeah.
ether.
And I mean, if you do vlogs, it'd be different than just randomly popping up with a video.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't fuck with that new shit.
No Yes Man over here.
Hell no, fuck this dude.
Game of Thrones next week. I know Dags is pumped about that.
Not pumped.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
Don't
about
Do you
give a
watch Thrones?
fuck.
Q?
Mm-mm.
What?
I've seen a bunch at my dude Bishop's house because he watches just every show, but
Yeah.
I'm not like into it now.
Y'all are
Not
crazy.
at all.
Doesn't seem
Nah.
crazy to me.
Oh, it's crazy. You ever seen Dragon? That's crazy.
Nope, that's why I fucking hate this shit. You ever seen
Masters.
basketball? Yep.
Masters this weekend.
Where?
Ooh, a
Who's the-
I will
tradition.
be
the
sitting
favorite?
my ass
Any
on the couch.
The Masters.
I
Who
don't
are you
know.
picking?
I don't
Who
know
you
who the
taking?
favorite would be.
Who you taking?
You go first. I got to think about it.
I'm taking Justin Thomas.
Interesting. Mo,
It's his year.
Q, you got any picks?
He's about to
Tiger
emerge.
Woods.
Nice.
Terrible.
That'd be tight if he did one.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
I'll take Ricky.
Ricky.
Nice.
Rose.
I'd like to see Ricky.
I'll go.
Fowler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm almost got a second choice, but
I'll go Francesco Molinari.
nice.
Ooh. Babadoopy.
Mamma mia.
It's
Is I had
either
the pizza pie.
Thomas or Fleetwood.
Dude, I was between Molinari
Yeah.
and Fleetwood. I like Fleetwood.
I
a
like
lot.
Fleetwood too, and he's been balling.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of top tens this year, I think.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Fleetwood.
There you go. Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac. Lastly, dude, I want to go back and we talked about in one of our early pods the Pistons. It was early in the season,
Yo.
and I talked about like tanking and how the Pistons just consistently
Yo.
get they're either 8th or 9th in the East.
Yep.
I literally did a segment on it,
Yeah.
and now we're sitting in the A seed
Yeah.
with like 2 games left.
We were looking so nice
Dude.
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but we were in 6 and it was only by like a game. The 6 through 8 has been flip flopping
Yeah.
nonstop, and even 9 and 10, they're all within a game and a half.
Yeah, but we're on like a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Is
But you-
tonight the decider?
There's only 2 games left,
Right.
so I don't
I
know
think
if it's
Brooklyn or something has to
officially the
win as well.
decider. It's Brooklyn, and the thing that
Hornets.
sucks is we were just had a game against the Hornets and got worked.
Yep, it's Brooklyn and the Heat, I think, and then
Yeah. He's sitting right there.
on the other side, it's like 9 and 10 is the Hornets and
And
someone
I can't think of it, but dude, we basically, if we get to 8th or we miss the playoffs, I'm done with the Pistons, bro. Like, because especially this year when there's no LeBron in the East,
Mm.
to me the Bucks are an automatic loss. The Bucks are nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real.
And Raptors, like, I could get a little excited about playing them. I'd be kind of scared. Anybody else, I'm really not overly scared of.
We've beat the Raptors all year.
Yeah, we
haven't
have.
lost them.
And so I'd be less scared of them. Like the Bucks are the only ones that I would think sweep.
Yeah.
And here we are. Even if we make it, we're looking at playing the Bucks. And if we don't, and there's a good chance we don't make it based off how we've been playing. And then we'll get some just average ass pick. But if we make it and get swept, who fucking cares, dude?
Right.
Like, it's 4 extra games to watch. Cool. And then I'm over you. And I don't have anything to look forward to because you didn't get anyone in the draft.
Yeah, and after the state shit, I don't know if I can go through that.
It's just like, how many times do you got to do it in a row?
Right.
The same thing. Like, I can, if it happens one year, it happens to everybody. But it's like every year.
Yup.
Fuck,
Yo,
man.
if the Browns can turn shit around, the Lions can do it. Because the Pistons have done it. You know, like we've got
we've gotten to see a Pistons title, so I can't be,
Tigers,
mad,
we've seen
honestly,
success.
Dude, Tigers.
The Tigers are bun.
Yeah, they are.
For real? I haven't watched shit.
6-3.
Dude, they started off, I was like, they got the first win, and then they couple losses, 2 or 3 in a row, and I was like, oh, here we go.
2, and then they won 1 and then lost 1.
And then now they're cruising.
Dude,
now.
I was talking
Nelson
about this
cruising.
the other day. Baseball is so crazy because you have 3 or 4 game series with every team pretty much the whole year for 162 games. Like, more often than not in any sport, if you play a team 3 times, you're going to take a loss in one of them.
Yeah, or fight them.
You know? So the whole season, like, it's just crazy that hardly any teams are above or below 500 to me. Because, like, you're going to just win some series. You're going to go 2-1 or you're going to go 1-2. You know what I'm saying?
I think the thing is,
baseball, so anyone can beat anyone type shit.
Yeah.
With baseball, like,
I think it is though. Like you said, the good teams just win 2 out of 3 more than the bad teams win.
For
1 out of-
sure.
you know
But
what I
that's
mean?
crazy.
And there's so many games that it ends up spreading out.
The
It's a
teams
long
that get like
season.
100 wins and 60 losses, like,
Yeah.
that's fucking nuts.
That's-
It is
just
the
looks crazy.
Yeah, it is the crazy thing about baseball too. Is like Tigers start off really well, and we could have a shitty season still.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like it's
Really
just
shit.
it's a tiny start to the season. But dude,
they've
I'm
been
happy
fun
with
to
it.
watch.
Yeah, they have. Dude, I think baseball is also one of the few professional sports that I do think, because it's so coin flippy and random sometimes, I do think managers have a lot of pull in games like that. Like managers that can squeak an extra run across.
Yeah.
I like the way Gardenhire manages sometimes. When he first came in, I wasn't in love.
Yeah, you weren't in love.
I was like, I don't know, man. But then when you have a team that doesn't have a bunch of studs and it's like just kind of a scrappy
Well,
team,
he's
it's
kind of
like,
been-
oh,
Like
he
Michigan
seems
State.
that old school approach kind of tends to be able to push some runs across the board.
He's
sometimes.
kind of been nice with making teams good through
With
their
the
farm
Twins.
systems.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good sign
That's a
because
skill.
that's what we
Yeah.
fucking have right now. is a
Breaking-
farm system. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Oh god, I was ready to get out of here.
Kendrick Lamar seemingly disses Big Sean
I
in
saw
old
that.
song snippet.
They bang going back and forth. Did you say in what song?
Oh,
It wasn't.
Old songs. This is this just got posted like 7 hours ago.
Yeah, he
That's not
You-
breaking news. That's old.
Well,
No,
I just got an alert for it on my Twitter.
he
which
was
is
listening
weird.
to a song in the studio or some shit, like playing it in the background, like did a snippet like that, and he said something, and people caught on to it.
I just saw Big Sean. At,
I can't think of what it said. It
the
said
Dreamville Fest, Dream Fest. That shit looked dope as fuck.
Mo, just
Yeah.
try to find that snip. Just type in. I don't
Just
have my
look up
I don't
what-
have my screen share, but if you just type in Kendrick Lamar, it should pop. I see
Kendrick
like a 9-second snippet.
Lama,
Is it like an Instagram video?
or Twitter.
I was on Twitter.
AKA Benji Tweet.
I could just play it off my computer actually real quick. See if we can pick anything up.
Here, I might.
I can make them respect you, baby. It's not my job. You're finally famous for who you date, not how you rhyme. Cute ass rap. Get your
Yeah, he said you're finally famous for who you date and not how you rock.
Yeah,
And then he said, "Boy."
yeah.
Mhm.
And based off
Uh-oh.
like the thinking he was dissing Big Sean in the past, like that's definitely obviously
Yeah.
Big Sean did.
Finally famous.
Yeah.
He said Hall of Fame in the Heart Part 4.
They've had
Yeah.
like some weird beef for long. I think.
Yes. Like, do we know why?
I
don't
think
know.
Big Sean just thinks he's the best. And I think he doesn't like everyone gassing Kendrick all the fucking time.
But did he say anything?
He did,
The
and just in no more interviews, just that verse. when he's like, and I ain't overly impressed with all that rapidy rap. People say you the savior of rap, but like he like says some shit like that.
Yeah.
That was after Kendrick dropped his.
And I think maybe there was like a Big Sean interview at one point after Control.
Oh yeah.
That maybe Kendrick. It wasn't like bad. I think maybe Kendrick maybe took a little.
Again, everyone taking the shine from Sean.
Yeah. Yeah, so
'Cause
I
that
don't
was
know.
his song.
It seems like some maybe just petty shit, but I never really mind the rap jabs.
Nah.
Like,
And that's what it feels like to me is like they're doing it, well, not maybe more Kendrick than Sean, but just to kind of for sport type shit.
yeah, like that's a bar.
And he knows, that's a fire
Yeah.
bar. And he knows Big Sean's with it.
Big Sean is not with it, bro.
He's with the subs. He's with subs all day.
What do you?
He's with the subs like Subway's with the subs, dude. Kendrick's with the
That's
subs
pretty
like Big John's with the subs. Like I don't know, dude.
Like not with the subs?
I think Big Sean, for as good of a rapper as he is,
Yeah.
I think he's kind of stayed away from. We've been wondering about Kendrick subbing Big Sean for a while, and if that no interviews thing is the only thing he's done, like I want to hear a little bit more, bro.
Start.
Like a Kendrick Big Sean back
What
and
about
forth
this?
would be fire.
In a 2017 interview with The Breakfast Club, Sean maintained that he had the better control verse over Kendrick. No, he didn't. Stop that shit. Stop. He told Charlamagne the God when challenged. How long ago was that? What year is this? And I still don't feel like he got washed, or I got washed anyway.
That's what I mean, though. Like he maintains he had the best. Like that quote is not anything. He's saying I didn't get washed. Like I would say that too.
Yeah.
No, but everyone didn't really remember your verse.
Right.
Everyone
And
just
like
talked about
that's what I mean. Like he has a right. Like I don't think he's wrong to say that. I think
No.
most rappers probably should say that, especially because Big Sean can spit,
Mm-hmm.
and his verse was good.
Yeah.
And I can't even say if I was in Sean's situation that like if you really want to break it down, and I don't even the song's so old. I don't even remember Sean's verse like that. But he probably did have a fire verse, and
That
a
was
lot
dope.
of the reason people were talking about Kendrick shit was name dropping.
Yeah.
And so you could probably make an argument that just rap wise, bar wise, maybe Big Sean did have a better verse. But you know what? It wasn't not in the public forum.
Right.
Yeah.
So just let it be, bro. And it was on your song. Just take it for what it is. Like
Yeah.
just be Kendrick dropped a huge verse that made my song massive.
So you don't think he would like respond?
Big Sean?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. This has been going on for like fucking ever, bro.
Yeah, but that one's new, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
This is
with
a
a-
little more like
It's like a
direct.
song that he hasn't put out yet, Kendrick, and he was just playing it like on IG Live or some shit like that, real quick, like Sean's been doing.
And Control was in 17. Like a lot's happened as far as beef goes, and it's from
Was it
17
in
and
17?
I was gonna say,
Is that what
not
that said?
that
I thought it
long.
was way
I thought
older
it was
than
like
that.
13, I think.
13.
Yeah, I'm not-
Jeez, was the interview in 17? Is that what we just looked
Maybe.
at? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it could be.
Yeah.
Hashtag off the zoinkies.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm a big fan of both, and I think they can both. They're top 5 rappers right now, both of them.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that back and forth.
Not just age Q, like
Back in my day.
13.
The interview
Daddy
it said
Kane.
was 17.
Do you think the Twitter mob's gonna come out against Kendrick because Big Sean has mental health problems?
Somebody will, yeah.
What?
That'll be a small mob.
Because you can't diss someone with mental health
Will
problems.
be a small mob.
Dude, do you know how many people lost their girlfriends to someone else? They're offended.
Oh,
That's real.
that's real.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And it's misogynistic to talk shit about Big Sean blowing up because he's dating someone.
Nah, we ain't gonna do this.
All right, that was episode 60 of the Specktators podcast. We'll see you next. Before we
Oh
leave,
shit! Real quick,
this is we got the jackets in.
bitch.
I'm gonna be
I know y'all
sending
saw
them
Dags
out
wearing this already.
tomorrow and Wednesday, and also, or I guess today and Wednesday when you hear this tomorrow, whatever, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then this is the last Monday podcast we will be doing. Moti will soon have we'll have a young Moti rolling around.
Yeah, Papa Duty.
And so based on his schedule with his wife and whatnot, we gotta switch the pod day to Wednesday.
Hello, Aaron.
So we will be recording the podcast Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're still gonna keep trying to do it live. And Mo, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're just gonna keep doing it live and leaving it up then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you got Wednesday evenings, the pod will drop. We can
Right.
basically say that now, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a next morning type.
I'm
of
just
thing.
gonna try to get it out as quick as I can.
That's
Tight.
what he said.
Ah.
All right, so not next Monday. We will see you guys next Wednesday evening.
Wednesday.
Thanks for tuning in.
61. Oh.